Hi friends, Mawdiay Faith here again with Fearful's Journey Through the Desert. I know it has been a very long time since I have been doing the read-alouds of that, and I am so very sorry. Life has been kind of busy, as I'm sure it has been for all of you, but I thought we would start again with finishing off Chapter 3. So if you would like to join me for Chapter 3, if you've been reading along with me, I love that. Continue to join with me. If you are just seeing this and haven't seen Chapters 1, 2, and 3, I will leave the links in the comments below so that you can catch up with those chapters before joining us for this part. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Oh no, I lost my spot. I'll get there quick. Prince Anointed One and Fearful raced around after each other, laughing for a long time. After about half an hour, they tumbled to the ground beside each other. They were laughing so hard they could hardly breathe. Once he got his breath, Prince Anointed One said they probably should get back to work. They both went their separate ways, Fearful to start breakfast and Prince Anointed One to chop more wood. Fearful went about mixing the porridge with a song in her heart, a smile on her face, and a lilt in her step. "What are you doing, father?" Fearful asked, looking down at the pieces of paper with the strange black marks that people called writing. Ambassador of Trust had skipped breakfast and lunch to pore over these papers. It was now the middle of the afternoon, and still he had not moved from the log he sat on. "When King Holy One sent me on this mission, he gave me these papers. Supposedly there is a sorcerer in the village that King Holy One is sending me to. This sorcerer is the cause of the village's problems. King Holy One told me it is imperative that I get to know this man's strengths and weaknesses." Fearful nodded. "This village is between Land of Promise and Land of Enslavement, isn't it?" "Yes, that is right." "Then why did you come with Prince Anointed One to come get me? Wouldn't you have passed right by it on the way to the Land of Enslavement?" Ambassador of Trust bit his lip thoughtfully for a few seconds as he looked up at Fearful, apparently slightly ashamed of himself. "To explain that, we have to look back into history. You know that in the beginning of time all humans were under King Holy One's reign. Then the first man and woman sold themselves and all their children to Prince Iniquity, and that caused a fraction between us and King Holy One. So now, whenever someone wants to go back over to King Holy One, the cost that has to be paid is the shedding of blood. Each year, each of the King Holy One's servants has to give him their sacrifices. After that is done, they have to go with one of King Holy One's representatives to announce to Prince Iniquity that they are at peace with King Holy One for another year. That way, he cannot try to steal them back. Last week, I presented my sacrifices to King Holy One, but I couldn't find a representative to go with me to Prince Iniquity. They were all busy with King Holy One's other servants. Prince Anointed One said he would represent me, since he was coming to get you anyway." Fearful nodded her head again, accepting the answer he gave. "Little Rose, I need you to start filling those flasks with water for our journey," Prince Anointed One said, coming up to where Fearful was talking with her father. He pointed to a bundle of flasks lying beside the other supplies. "Yes, sir." Fearful then picked up as many empty flasks as she could carry and jogged off towards the oasis. As she neared the oasis, she couldn't help but think of going for a dip in the refreshing, cool water. It was unusually hot, even for the desert. Sweat was slowly dripping down her face and body, soaking her dress. Do you guys like being that hot? I surely don't. I'm glad it's starting to be cool this year. The quiet bubbling of the water and the sight of green everywhere met Fearful as she entered the oasis. The high noon heat didn't seem to have any effect on this place. There was a gentle, fresh breeze playing in the trees, but that didn't seem to leave the oasis. Fearful took a deep breath, enjoying the pungent smell of the oasis flowers that filled her nose. Mmm. Do you guys like the smell of flowers? I do too. She knelt down and looked into the crystal pool. It was so clear and deep. As she filled the flask with water, she wondered how such a deep and cool pool had started in such a hot place, or how such a fresh, crisp breeze could exist in this oasis, but nowhere else. Fearful thought to herself, could it be the power of the king? What do you guys think? Do you think it's the power of the king? The breeze helped a lot to cool her off. But still, oh, how she wished she could step into the pool, if only for a second. It looked so inviting. Still, she had work to do, and she didn't want to make Prince Anointed One upset. So she resisted the strong urge to jump in, and instead turned her mind back to her work. After hiding the filled flasks under the bushes to keep them cool, Fearful went back to camp for more flasks. They were going to need lots of flasks of water, for their journey would be long and the oases they came upon would be few and far apart. Little did Fearful know, as she walked back toward the camp, the danger she would soon meet. What do you think is the danger that she will soon meet? Let's find out in another video. Right now I have to go, but thank you for joining me for the second part of chapter 3. I hope you continue to enjoy it with me. Bye. God bless.